Good morning. Yes, Lord Sabaoth, the Lord of hosts. The armies of God, which we never see, can never understand. Great, powerful instruments of God's pleasure, working his way through the universe, probably numbering billions, far greater than anything we can ever understand, and defeating the enemy and holding him at bay until finally the end shall come. It's a great mystery why it is that God doesn't just wipe out the enemy. But as I said before, there's something going on here we don't truly understand. As I said, it's almost as if there's somebody who's trying to deal with a psychotic who was holding onto a baby and holding them over the edge of a cliff. And all the forces coming against him. And that person was to say, you attack me. You attack me, you take me away, I'm going to drop the baby, I'm going to kill the baby. Somehow you have to get the baby off the person before then he can be dealt with. There's a mystery here beyond understanding, and God is going to do something about this soon. He's going to snatch the baby. He's going to take his children out of this universe, and then he's going to deal with the enemy in a very powerful way. The Lord of hosts, the Lord of the armies of heaven, coming against the armies of Satan, putting them down and destroying them. I was saying to you yesterday about Moses leading the children of Israel to this same point. But because they'd been slaves in Egypt, they looked out at the enemy they're going to be facing, and they were terrified. And they said, no. We're quite happy in the wilderness. We think we'll stay here a bit longer. We don't want to cross the Jordan. We don't want to get into this battle. I mean, they're strong soldiers. And look at those walls of those cities. How are we ever going to destroy them? How are we ever going to come against them? We just can't do it. And Moses says, if you go, God will go with you. And they said, no, we're going to stay in the wilderness. So God says to Moses, they have made a decision. They must now stay in the wilderness. And all of those you have brought to this point, all those adults you have brought to this point, they will die in the wilderness. Because I'm now going to leave you in the wilderness, praying for them, helping them, supporting them, and leading them. But one after the other they will die. In fact, he said, there is only going to be two that I'm going to protect. And those are two who are standing up in the council and saying, we must go in because God's going to be with us. One of those was Joshua, and the other was Caleb. And so when Moses finally died in the wilderness, after about 40 years of traveling, it was Joshua who had taken over leadership of the tribes. And he takes them once again to the Jordan. He sees this river. How are they possibly going to cross it? What are they going to do? So he prays about it. And God says, tell the priests to take up the ark on their shoulders and to walk into the waters. Let them lead into the waters. And as they do so, the water becomes dammed further upriver, and the place is made dry so that people can cross over. The first great miracle of entering the land of Canaan, or rather re-entering the land of Canaan, was carried out. And the people crossed over the river and camped outside the great city of Jericho. And then, as I said yesterday, Joshua has this vision. He goes, he bows, he takes off his shoes, he worships, because this is in fact Jesus in a pre-incarnate state, coming in and saying, yes, you're going to be doing your part, Joshua, but in fact, the battle is going to be mine. See, who won the battle of Jericho? Who defeated Jericho? Yes, Joshua did his part, but it was the Lord of hosts who finally destroyed it and helped them to come back into this land, which he'd promised to Abraham, their forefather. So come back into this land and take it once again for themselves. So we have then Joshua having this vision, and we must somehow get hold of this vision as well. Because although we are not dealing with flesh and blood, We are dealing with principalities and powers. We must realize that God also knows about these principalities and powers, and he is already releasing his forces. You will never ever realize how much power God has released in order to protect you wherever you are and whatever you're doing. You may say, well, there's things going wrong in our lives, and we hear about Christians being martyred in different parts of the world, and we hear about tragedies in the world, and we hear about defeat for the works of God. Yes, all these things are going on. It is a battle. In every battle, there seems to be progress, and then there seems to be a driving back and a defeat. The truth is that in the end, the captain of the Lord's host is truly going to defeat the enemy. He is going to put him down. We don't understand why this gap is taking place, why this time is passing. It's something is happening in the spiritual realm which is almost beyond our understanding. But we accept it is he who is going to do battle and he who is going to get the victory. Amen.